Yep, that's me, chaining barbarians. Today is day 278 on our restart account, and I know it's a random number, so you might be like, why the hell are you even making an update video? Day 278, it's just so random. Well, the reason is not the days, of course. The reason is our KvK3 is about to end. So soon, we are going to enter our first ever season of Conquest, which is KvK4. And that's why I thought this would be a perfect time to make a detailed account update video. We will go over our buildings, research, VIP, commanders, armaments, equipment, pretty much everything that you can think of. So without further ado, let's go. Regarding buildings, as you can notice, my power is 65 million. We unlock a bunch of T5s. There is no building that I haven't upgraded except the State Forum, because the cost is super high. Like, what I'm trying to do is, when we have a modern gems, and if it's not upgraded yet, of course I will buy Sage Testimonies and upgrade it. But until then, I'm just gonna go with the freeways. I'm not spending any gems on it, because whether it's the courier station or dispatches, travels, like there are a bunch of ways to get free Sage Testimonies. So that's why I'm not spending any gems right now. But as I said, if there's a modern gems, yes, this is one of my priorities. And when it comes to research, it's pretty much the same. All economic technology is of course max, all military technology is max for infantry, archers and cavalry. It's just what's left is heavy frame 10 out of 10 and trebuchet, which is tier 5 siege units, which is the final unit type that I don't have the T5 version of. Now if you don't plan to use any T5 units, or if you don't plan to invest on an engineering / siege march, because I do plan to invest on it, we will discuss this further investments in the later stages of the video. But if you don't, what you can do is, there is an event called Alliance Mobilization, right? There is a trick that you can do. And if you are in a competitive kingdom or competitive alliance, leadership is most likely asking you to get, a certain point threshold. And what you can do is, you don't unlock this technology, you don't complete it, right? You unlock it, you finish everything, but you don't complete this one. So what you do, every single time there's an alliance mobilization event, you start the research of trebuchet, and every time there is an alliance mobilization quest which requires to use speed ups or specific the resource speed up, you use your speed ups on this one and you complete as many quests as possible before you actually finish the research. And when you're about to finish it, you cancel it, you get half of the resources back, and then you start the research again. And this way, you keep getting high points in alliance mobilization events, and of course meet the point threshold of your alliance. And also, I think this is a great way to make use of your research speedups that are pretty much useless sitting in your inventory. But as I said, I might invest on a siege march, so when I get the chance, I will probably unlock my T5 siege units as well. Now, VIP, if you've been following our restart account series, you know that I focus my gems mostly on VIP, or I should say I allocated most of my gems to VIP, not the T5. And that's why in like less than 300 days, we are at 1.2 million VIP points. Of course, your alliance is also quite important, because so far I got a bunch of gold chests that got me a lot of 2k VIP points specifically. And even though VIP 16 is pretty good because it has minus 10% healing resource cost, and also this is super important in my opinion, you start getting 2 blue equipment material choice chests, which will of course speed up your crafting process pretty significantly. But I don't like... Still 300k gems. Yes, if there is a modern gems, after I'm done with my State Forum, I will then go back to my VIP, but I'm not planning to, spend a bunch of gems on VIP. Whenever I had the chance, whenever there is a modern gems event, and if there is nothing better to do, I will then try to push for VIP 16. But of course, for the majority of players, VIP 14 at least should be the ultimate goal, because you start getting 3 legendary commander sculptures every day, which is a great luxury. Now let's quickly go over our current commander lineup. I have 1.5 marches. I mostly use William Wallace and Liu Che in this KvK, and sometimes I also went up to 2 marches, which was Joan of Arc primary and Minamoto secondary. The reason why Minamoto has my armaments and gear is because I'm just rallying force whenever it's possible, but of course in the field, Joan of Arc 5515 was the primary. However, as I said, the difference between this march and this march is like night and day, and that's why, to be a little bit more resource and speed up efficient, I mostly used one march, and it was my infantry march. This march, I am actually super satisfied with it. William Wallace is, I should say, not very loved by most players, because I guess the main reason is, there are 3 reasons. Number 1, he doesn't have an AoE damage. Number 2, he doesn't have a debuff like CPU Prime. And number 3, this is, you can only understand it once you start to play with it, he's slow. Okay, I'm not saying that he's as slow as, let's say, Zhuge Liang YSG. No, because he does have some march speed, and also, of course, Liu Che does have some march speed. But if you compare it to, let's say, if you've been using Liu Che and Alex, you will definitely feel the difference on the march speed. And that's why on one of my previous videos, which was dedicated to this march, I specifically said that you have to go for 4 pieces set so that you get 10% speed bonus, and your number one priority when it comes to upgrading your iconic tiers is getting everything to iconic level 2, and after that, getting your boots to iconic tier 5 so that you get extra 10%, 5% from the tier 4 and another 5% from tier 5. So that is like extra 10% march speed. That is important. And for a while, even though I think William Wallace is quote-unquote like the better primary, I use Liu Che as the primary because with Liu Che's talent tree, I was able to get a lot more march speed. William Wallace Liu Che felt a little bit too sluggish, too slow, and that's why I went with Liu Che and William Wallace, and that march really didn't feel that slow for an infantry march. But if you're going to use William Wallace primary, and of course the main reason is going to be fight or flight because of that AoE 45 rage lose, and also since this skill doesn't boost to Liu Che's active skill like 40% flat, I want this skill to get boosted because the chances are 80%, so most likely your primary is going to benefit from it. So since I want this to be William Wallace, most I use him as a primary and Liu Che the secondary. Let's take a quick look at equipment and armaments as well. Minamoto, it's not great, but I will say it is okay. Like every single piece has really good value, especially the epics. Heart of the Saint, Gladiator, if you get these special talented, you are going to use them for a very long time. This is straight up one of my favorite items. Expedition Warhelm, 8% cavalry defense with special talent, perfect. This, of course, like this needs to get a lot better. We only have 3 legendaries, 1 special talent, which is, I definitely take it, like 1 out of 3, perfect. But of course, this is not our main march. If we take a look at our infantry equipment, which is way better, we have 6 pieces legendary, we have 4 special talents, which is insane. This luck, I think, is just unmatched. But we are missing the iconic tiers. Well, I guess I should say we are missing the iconic crystals in the first place, because even though I have a special talent on my Shield of the Eternal Empire, since I don't have the crystal, I cannot boost its stats even more. So what would I do to upgrade this specific equipment is definitely not trying to get special talents on the helm and the boots. I will 100% go with iconic tiers first, and then get everything to level 2, as I've already explained. Get my boost to tier 5, and also of course craft legendary accessories, and only then I'll probably consider trying to get a special talent on boots and of course the helmets. It's pretty much the same story when it comes to armaments. Like these are decent. We have Boiling Blood, we have Watchman, decent amount of stats, but definitely not even close to being a good armament set. And if you take a look at infantry, I guess we actually have less stats, but we have 3 inscriptions, we have Warflames, Fit, and Battle Ready. Again, this is not even a good armament set, but this is the best we have, so we need to keep using it. Now let's discuss our future plans a little bit. We have a 5-5-1-5 Joan of Arc, and between infantry, cavalry, and archers, cavalry is the next one on the list. So what I can do is certainly save all my sculptures. I have almost 500, so I'm pretty sure that once we have the new cavalry commander, I have enough to expertise it as soon as possible. I can go with that new cavalry commander and a Joan of Arc pair, which will give me like 2 really good pairings. But of course, the downside is I will bench my expertise Minamoto with double relic, which is definitely something that I don't want to. However, we might in the future, we might go up to 2 cavalry marches, and in that case, Minamoto again can be a placeholder, either a primary or most likely a secondary for another cavalry commander until we also perfect that second cavalry pairing. So even though if we invest on a new cav commander, pair with Joan of Arc and bench on Minamoto, which sucks, but I think we'll still get a lot of value out of him because like he's a really good placeholder, a substitute commander, especially as a secondary, because when people see Minamoto on the field as a primary, they're just gonna like target you instantly. I prefer to use him as a secondary, so I hide it behind an actual commander. Of course, it doesn't perform the best, definitely not on par with like Nevsky, QB, whatever, but we got him expertise, unlock 2 relics, so it can definitely be, as I said, a substitute commander. This, I guess, the most ideal thing to do. By the way, I recently invested 50 sculptures on my Zhuge Liang, so I can chain barbarians. Yes. Because of that, oh my god, devastating Zenith of Power, and I pretty much, quote-unquote, wasted everything. Yes, I got rank 11, but rank 11 is the worst rank, because you literally get nothing. At least you don't get the permanent city skin, which is the only thing that matters in Zenith of Power. I had to invest on a cheap circle AoE march so that I can pair with my Richard and chain barbarians whenever it's possible, so that I can make up a little bit for that Zenith loss. As I mentioned already, we might invest on an engineering march, because yes, I said between cavalry, infantry, and archers, cavalry is the next one on the list. However, before cavalry, there is a chance that they might release new engineering commanders. And we all know that engineering is a very different style, like range combat is a very different style. However, if you invest decent amount of sculptures, materials, and armaments, the reports, the return that you get from that march when it comes to like raw kill points is actually insane. So that's why if Lilith releases new engineering commanders instead of leadership, and if those commanders are just bonkers, of course we're just gonna sit there, wait for the actual reports, actual testing by the siege players, and if it performs even better than Gonzalo and Gajamada, which is I think the best engineering march in the game. Yes, Margaret and Cordoba is heavily used. However, when I make a march, I always like to have best of both worlds. So Gajamada brings the tankiness, Gonzalo brings the damage. It's open to discussion which one is the better primary, like should you go Gajamada Cordoba or Cordoba Gajamada. But long story short, this march gets incredible traits, and if the next engineering pairing is better than this one, and in this case I might just say, you know what, screw it, let's go with an engineering march instead of like investing on another cavalry commander to pair with Joan of Arc and bench our Minamoto. Time will tell, we'll see. Let's take a look at our KvK situation as well. By the way, on the last video, I was around at like 5 to 6 million kills, and after passes were open, I managed to get around like 5 million kills as well. So I'm close to 10 million. The next reward is 15. So what I can do, there is not much fighting left. I might trade my way to 15 million kills, but one-to-one trades, I don't think it's efficient. Should I do it for basically like 2 formation choice chests, 1 epic? And this could be animal balls, let's be honest. I don't think so. I guess I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to leave it. Whatever it is, 25 million, impossible. We are, of course, the winners of the KvK. We are going to get incredible... we already got a lot of rewards, but we'll get even more. And that's why even after investing all those commanders, you know, expertising 2 infantries, getting John to 5 while 1-5, investing some to Zhuge Liang, we still have 500 sculptures, because while I was spending my sculptures on commanders, we were also getting a lot of rewards because we were just dominating this KvK. So this is basically our 3rd KvK win back to back to back. I see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out our migration Discord, our kingdom is, I guess, recruiting 3394. Definitely check out the link in the description. I see you on the next one. Goodbye.